right, folks, what is going on? This is episode 737 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football. And today's Friday, and there's some pretty good news coming out of Georgia Southern. This is a really cool story, and I want to give you my thoughts and opinions on this. Georgia Southern lands four-star former Oklahoma wide receiver Levon Bunkley-Shelton. Call him LV. Some people call him LV. And we're really going to get into this because this is what I thought that this is what Coach Clay-Helton was going to bring to the table when it comes to recruiting and transferring. Guys who are from the California area, who had ties with USC, guys who've had, relationships with Coach Clay-Helton, bringing them down here to the Statesboro area to play for him. And this is like one of the first times that this has actually happened, which is absolutely awesome. I wanted to see it in year one, but we're now in year three, and you see what's going on here. We are in the moment where we're starting to get some pretty decent players in. Not saying that we didn't have them before, but these top-tier Power 5 players are starting to come in, and after, Dexter Williams, and now we have a guy like LV coming in. Things are starting to shape up a little bit better than we thought it'd be in the first 2 years. But I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on this. And we're just going to go from there. I'm just going to say this off the rip. This is a great thing. So if this is your first time here, welcome. I can be found on YouTube and Rumble. Also, I am on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. Catch me on any of those platforms if you want to listen at your leisure. I can be found on Twitter or X at VF Baller, and the website is firstandframerates.com. Let's get straight into this because this is pretty exciting. Excuse me. This is pretty exciting. USC was one of the top picks for LV back in high school. And even before then, he was being pretty much debating on if he was going to go to USC or Oregon. But, USC was like this place for him to go, and it almost happened. But I don't know the whole backstory. I think there's a story about this on the internet. I got the article up here about the entire situation. But I have the link. I'll put it down in the description so you can read it. But he's been down with USC since the earliest 2009. It's been, that is, probably even before then. And it is awesome for him to actually move up as a football player, and actually was going to be recruited by Coach Clay-Helton at one point, but end up going to Arizona State. He was there for a while. He was there for 2 years. Then he ended up transferring to Oklahoma, where he didn't get much playing time, so he went back into the transfer portal. Now he's a Georgia Southern Eagle. And this is like really cool because this is exactly what Georgia Southern needs. You would like to see these top 3-star, these 4-star, and maybe in some cases 1 5-star. I don't know if we'll ever get that, but get a 5-star guy here and build this program from the web or the tentacles that Coach Clay-Helton have in the California area and in other areas of the country. This is how we end up getting like a Jeremy Singleton. This is how we end up getting Jalen Barton. This is how we end up getting Keaton Upshaw. You start getting some of these players from these Power 5 schools wanting to come down here and play. And this is how Georgia Southern, this is a part of how Georgia Southern end up being back one of those top teams in the Sun Belt. You get guys like this to booster the guys that you've recruited, and you mesh them together to have 8, 9, 10, 11 win seasons. Unfortunately, we haven't had that many transfers from the Power 5 ranks to come down, but hopefully this starts a trend. You already saw Dexter Williams come down. You saw Jalen Barton. You saw Keaton Upshaw. Even the guy from Auburn, the tight end from Auburn is here. He was a 4-star recruit as well. So we have more pieces here now, more Power 5 pieces here, where I feel like now we should be able to start moving to that 8-game per season type of, realm. The third year is third time a charm, 2, 6, and 7 seasons. Now we're starting to get our footing up under us, where the recruiting class that just came in looks really good. The transfer class is coming in. They're looking pretty good as well. Still not concrete on who the quarterback's going to be. I'm still a big fan of Colton Fitzgerald. I don't know how that's going to play out. You still got J.C. French. You got Dexter Williams that just came in. You still got David Dallas. You have a lot of guys that are here that could throw the football. but now you have guys that are going to be weapons on this team. So this is a really big deal. I expect LV to be an immediate impact. He's going basically going to be taking the place of what Caleb Hood was. So you got LV, you got Marcus Sanders, you got Derwin Burgess, you got Jet Thompson, you got Buchanan. You got a lot of guys out here that can catch the football for this team. And for him to come in to fall in place where Caleb Hood was, you're basically not going to miss a step in that department. The main thing is now we just need to get a quarterback out there that's ready to go, knowing the offense, get a better rapport with the receivers, and just start. Let's throw for 300, 400, 500 yards, per game. Let's get to that point. Let's run for another 120, 175. And at that point, if you do that and you get a solid defense, man, you're going to be pretty much on point and unstoppable at that point. That's my opinion. I'm biased. I'm Georgia Southern Youth fan. I'm biased, but with that being said, this is a huge pickup for Georgia Southern. Now, before I get out of here, I want to give you a little bit of stats on what LV has been doing. He started at Arizona State, played for the Sun Devils for 2 seasons. His best year was in 2021, where he had 33 catches for 418, and he didn't see much playing time after that. So overall, since 2021, or I think he started playing in 2020. I want to say that as well. Let me go back. Yeah, he started playing he got enrolled at the Sun Devils August 26, 2020. So he's been playing since then. So over those 4 years, he had 49 catches for 575, 2 touchdowns, 11 yards per catch. So there's a lot of potential here because the 2 seasons that he really played, because he didn't play much at Oklahoma. That's one reason why he is transferring. But over the time, these are pretty solid numbers. And you're going to be one of the main targets at Georgia Southern. I expect him to be really good for this team. Very good for this team. He was the number 15 overall prospect in the state of California, number 23 wide receiver in the wide receiver class, and the number 33 overall in the class. So this is a pretty good talent here. This is a really good talent. 4-star recruit coming down to Georgia Southern to play, along with the tight end who didn't get much. He didn't get much playing time at Auburn as well. But when you got him, you have the other receivers. You look at Colton Fitzgerald, you look at Dexter Williams, you look at these other quarterbacks. You see J.C. French. You don't know who's going to be where, but when you get these guys together, you should have good results. You should have very good results. And I didn't even talk about our running backs yet. I haven't even talked about the running backs that we have as well. So we should be in good shape starting out for the spring practices in the spring game or whatever. This should be a really good jumping off point. This is probably one of the most stable situations that, Georgia Southern had in a while, even going back to the Chad Lunsford area, which hindsight, it wasn't a bad time with Chad Lunsford. I think it was just time for him to move on. I mean, there's no ill will. It was just time for him to move on. I think things got a little bit out of control. But now you have stability here. I think you have a lot of your quarterback situation is still up in the air. You got talented quarterbacks. The receiver's not a problem. The running back, you got Jalen White coming back. You got O.J. Arnold still. You got another running back that's here with Badinga. You have a really good offense to start off with, and then you got a new offensive line running game coach. You have something here. And bringing LV in is just doing nothing but helping the cause. It's going to be a really exciting and interesting season because I feel at the end of the day, with all of these moves, you get LV here, you get the tight end from Auburn, you get what's the other transfer? You get Dexter Williams here. You're starting to get some really solid pieces that look like they're going to be a little bit more stable than years past. I mean, the jury was still kind of out on Davis Brin. You didn't know what you got with Keaton Upshaw. You just didn't know. And then you had Kyle Van Treese here, but then you had Jeremy Singleton as well, which was, he was pretty good, but you just didn't know. I think this year now, I think you kind of know what you got. You know what you got. These guys are looking pretty solid. past injuries with Dexter Williams is not that much of a concern in my opinion. He's something to look at, but if he could play, I mean, Michael Penix had the same situation. You look at Michael Penix. So you're looking at a situation here that it looks pretty solid. And I think Coach Clay-Helton has really done he's done a really good job based on what has happened in the last, few years at Georgia Southern. I think, there was a little bit of a letdown, especially this year. Not the fact that we lost these games, but how we lost them and the fact that, it was, consecutive losses. But he's bringing back hope for the 2024 season. And with splashes like this is really going to give people much more interest. Can't wait till the spring. Man, already. Football season over and there's still much more to be excited about. If you like this commentary, hit the like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know what you guys think about this pickup, this signing, this commitment. I mean, this is a really good look right here. It's really, really good. So give me your thoughts and opinions. I could be found on YouTube and Rumble, also on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. Also, I could be found on X or Twitter at VFBaller, and the website is firstandframerates.com. All right, y'all, I'm going to get up out of here. I hope you guys had a great week. Hopefully there's more great things is coming your way. And I'm going to get up out of here. I'll see you guys when we talk Falcons when they play the Saints this weekend. All right, y'all. Y'all take it easy and y'all be blessed. Peace.